Hello, humans, and welcome to another episode of Gen X Gamer. The Neo Geo effect is on. We're already getting people that can't order their console here in California. They're having a hard time. Sorry. We got in there early, man. My order is confirmed. That's all I care about. But it looks like some people are saying that it's website issues. I don't know, guys. I think that this thing went bonkers, and I think it's going better than what they thought, and they're having trouble handling the demand. I think that's going to be it. As far as the website, because I'm sure Amazon is getting pounded right now, right? By people trying to order this thing, specifically the black. A lot of people are in the same boat as I am. They don't want the anniversary collection. I guess, if they sell out, that's going to sell out too. But the white, I don't think that was a great choice, man. I think they should have gone with another color. I'm not going to say they should have made it wood grain, but maybe a blue, something, maybe a red, right? That's emblematic of the arcade cabinet. I think would have been a much better choice. But hey, it is what it is. Will they have a red one? Will I buy it? Probably. No, I don't know, because the games are so expensive, right? I need to get at least a couple of games. But guys, I think this is, the demand for these consoles that are coming up, whether it's the M64, whether it's the Neo Geo, what's happened before, the success that Atari has to be opening eyes. Has to be opening eyes to people that don't want to be connected to the internet like me, right? I'm not the only one. I'm sure it's not the only one who is uncomfortable with the new era of gaming that just wants to monetize you for everything. But it's not only that, guys. It's also the games. It's also the games. I mean, some people are saying, well, these games are 30 years old. And yeah, they're 30 years old. And believe it or not, people are still going to pay money for them. People are still going to pay the $90 for them. So I don't care who you are. I don't care what game company you are. Sega has to be looking at this going, a new Streets of Rage 2? Re-release? Even if they don't do the console, re-releasing some of these games would make sense. Even if they give it to a third party, right? All they're providing is the software. It would make some sense. It definitely would make a lot of money, and it would raise a lot of awareness, right? Because right now, if you go to, for example, any Sega store, right? I was looking at it, and people go, they say, well, it's all Sonic, it's all Atlas, it's all, Yakuza, but there's not a lot of, they don't pay a lot of homage to, to the past, right? I think that's a misstep by Sega, they said they're not a retro company, but you know what? Money is money. Whenever you can sell stuff, you do. Why not make, another Dreamcast with new games? You can let other people make the new games. Just license them. What do you care, right? You can have other companies do everything. You're just taking in money. I mean, it's to me, it's just a waste of resources, right? Because you have these licenses here where these companies can make just passive income. They don't have to make any of it. All they have to do is sell the license and collect residuals. That's it. That's it. It's all incoming, nothing outgoing. Why more companies don't do it, I don't know. But I think at these price points, modern game companies are having a hard time convincing people that their games are worth $70 for what? I mean, look at a Nintendo case right now. You just get the little card. Sometimes you get a key card. You don't get a manual, right? I mean, these, whatever you want to say, I mean, to me, they're too expensive, right? Just be honest. I don't think they're worth $89.99. They should have been $60. But if people are willing to pay for them, is because they want what they can't get elsewhere, right? They want what companies are no longer offering, and the retro market is huge, right? It's tiny compared to the entire, market, right? But it's still a lot of money. Like companies could be billion-dollar companies just specifically just focusing on retro, because even though people might be millionaires, and they want to do passion projects, whatever. Like I told you before, they're not into losing money. They're not into losing money. So, will there be more of this? Will there be, and I'm hoping, independent creators making games for these things? Geez, I hope so. I hope so, because it opens a whole new world of opportunities, of possibilities. GameStop should be after this. The leadership in GameStop is just really disappointing. It really is. Why they haven't cut deals with Atari, with Mod Retro, now with Neo Geo is beyond me. That is your bread and butter right there. Right? That is your bread and butter. You can have a whole new market, just like you did before, of people coming in, exchanging games. Evercade, the same thing. Anybody that's willing to put out physical products, you should be cutting deals with. You can start with game exclusives. Hello. Can you imagine? Just imagine if you had a GameStop exclusive. GameStop, I'll do your job for you. A red Neo Geo GameStop exclusive, right? With 1 or 2 exclusive titles, because GameStop has already produced or helped produce games in the past. Why not do it now in a controlled market where you control the product, you control the releases? Can you imagine that pre-order? It would go insane. It would go insane, right? And again, with GameStop, you could do a lot more because they even have their own credit card. So if you want to do cabinets, whatever the heck, you could do it, right? The infrastructure for the MVS is already there. Make a replica cabinet like they did. Look at the how much they're selling cabinets for now. Don't price gouge people for $600 for pressed cardboard, but they could make their own cabinet tops or bar tops, whatever the hell it is. But I'm just thinking into the future here. Will this expand? I hope so. I hope so. Even though it's not perfect, right? Even though there's many things that could be improved with the releases of the Mod Retro, with the releases of the Neo Geo, I think there's a lot there. Right? I think that there's a lot there, and I think that hopefully these markets will thrive so we can have our games, so we don't have to be connected to the internet, so we don't have to be paying $1,000 for a brand new console, right? So we can play, retro games on. That's the other thing, right? I have PlayStation 5, and most of the games that I play, I play, I play my Helldivers, right? But I play a lot of X-Men on there too. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, play some of the older games. So, guys, I think it's just new opportunities in the market. I'm really excited. What do you guys think? Are you guys getting these consoles? I'm getting the M64. I am getting the SNK. I already pre-ordered it. And, anybody else, Sega, you want to release that Dreamcast? You are going to be printing money, literally printing money. And, Sega, I'm getting confused here. Sega released, the Dreamcast. And GameStop should carry all this stuff, man. And let's get back to the good old days. Is it a dream? Of course. Of course it's a dream. But you know what? It could happen. A little bit. Could happen. I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.